Hello everybody and welcome to episode 12 of Republic to Revolution. Today all is in place for us to begin the grand opening of the Ekaterine Casino. All we need is a few more influence points so that we can talk to our good friend Oleg Brilin, our business partner, our comrade. Let's just hope that the socialists don't try to crash the grand opening. Because that would be very unfortunate. In the meantime, our success in this mission has brought my resolve up substantially. This is a magnificent sign for the movement. The NPRM is continuing its victorious march against its enemies. Against the socialists, against the cartel, against the church. The socialists, meanwhile, have recruited the celebrity Ilyin Radetzky. I honestly wonder what he's doing here. After all, I would have expected him to be far more closely associated with the Mafia than with the Socialists. Not that it bothers me. Not that it bothers me at all. We are regaining all of our former positions of strength across the city. All is boding well, and I am proud of myself. I have led the NPRM, the Novistranen People's Revolutionary Movement, through thick and thin, all the way to a great victory. And we now have sufficient points to open the Morozov Casino, which will hopefully expand our financial strength extremely. In the meantime, I am tempted to strike back against the socialists on their home turf, to break them in the one place where up until now they have been safe. In the Shubno Industrial Estate, the Kutuzov Works, and the Martov Estate. I believe that it is high time for us to begin our campaign in the Shubno Industrial Estate, since we aborted our previous attempts earlier on. Now let's see the grand opening of the Morozov Casino, presided over by myself and Oleg Brilin. The red carpet is set, and I am here wearing my most formal jacket. Giving my powerful handshake to Brilin as always, while the video cameras and the photo cameras are ready to capture this exciting moment. We are bringing life back to normal. We are breathing life back into the economy of Ekaterine. Strengthening the movement, and the city. This will improve our public image drastically, although the socialists might use it to claim that we are a bourgeois organization, or that we are working in the interests of the capitalists. But no matter how many times they can throw words like comprador and so on around, I will make it clear to all of Ekaterine and all of Novistrana that we care for the people. The NPRM cares for the country as well. We are patriots and we are populists. All the while, I believe that this is Mr. Morozov himself, although I am unsure. Or just Comrade Oleg Brilliant. To be honest, I'm quite confused, since I don't tend to look around the streets to see what people look like. To me, in this game, they're mostly just statistics. But regardless, this grand opening is a momentous occasion. It is the day that Ekaterine gets back on track, that the local economy becomes strong once more, and hopefully the moment that the NPRM shows to the entire city, to the entire nation, that it means business. That we are interested not in destruction, but rather in construction, in the strengthening of the local economy and the national economy. Beneath my coat, my character, if the game pans back to him, appears to be wearing some kind of Mao Zedong style tunic. A bit tighter than the average one, but nonetheless, it shows quite clearly where our interests are. Because we are nonetheless continuing to be a people's movement, a leftist movement, although it is becoming very hard to associate ourselves with socialist ideals, especially because of the Union of Socialist Workers being made up of a bunch of opportunists and bastards. Meanwhile, one can see my image on posters, campaign billboards, and so on. And Ivan Krochnov has leveled up once more. We'll strengthen his control, his presence, and perhaps his status a bit. Charisma will gain a smaller increase as well. We shall strengthen the bribery activity as well, because although bribery is a relatively dirty activity, it is necessary. So we are on the verge of being ready to leave the city of Ekaterine behind us for good. The ultimate victory is almost there. But first, we must rally the masses. We shall show to the entirety of Ekaterine that we mean business, that we mean liberation, that we follow the mass line, and that we shall proceed from the mass line in all situations. We shall begin to make our move, to take the town centre under our control, and thus to rally the masses to our cause. Because we have now reached a position where everything is falling into line. Our movement grows stronger by the day. I'd be tempted to try and recruit Nazarov one last time. And that is what I shall do. We shall bring him back to the Nargila bar, the Turkish coffee and smoking bar. We'll share some hookah while discussing his terms of re-entry, of the reconciliation of his ideals with our movement. And if he ever disagrees with the NPRM again, our good friend Krochnov will advance a little bribe to help him out. To help silence his concerns. Nazarov luckily is ready to meet up with me once more. And on relatively cordial terms as well. I hope that we can leave the past behind us and look forward to a brighter future for our movement, united in our struggle. After all, Nazarov is our old friend, and it would be a very big pity, a very great pity, to leave him outside of this momentous occasion we are planning in the town centre. I want to get him involved in the movement once more, even if only just for this big occasion, that he can speak passionately and show the world that the Novi Stranen People's Revolutionary Movement is a movement for them, a movement for the workers, for the peasants, for the intellectuals, the soldiers, and even the national bourgeoisie. Now let's go for the same old conversation point allocation as always.
Діна лагдура ляжа, пошна тміно колонка де стало і до нора.
Let's hope that Joseph Nasarov's discussion skills haven't improved, that we are capable of overwhelming him in this debate as before. We'll use the typical tactics, since victory is almost assured, although we can't be completely sure as of yet.
А їх діна таковецу, їх доштана, і вдругта.
We are on the verge of triumphing. If anything, we have already triumphed since we have achieved our threshold for points. This was the easiest conversation ever. If you ask me, deep in his heart, Comrade Nazarov clearly wants to rejoin the NPRM. It was simply out of frustration, combined with Kalmakov's slanderous articles and Churbanov's ridiculous propositions, that he left. But now, we are bringing our old comrade, our brother in arms, back into the movement. The NPRM is set for a brighter future, and the derailment of the previous 3 episodes is gone for good. This episode shall be one of unparalleled success against the socialists, against the government and the cartels. Our movement is perfectly sustainable now. It is on the verge of victory in Ekaterine. After that, we shall move on to even larger towns and cities in Novi Strana, expand our campaign, and take over the entire nation. The conversation was a success. Nazarov has been recruited, and I'm very glad about it. Nasarov's resolve has also gone up substantially, and I shall dispatch him to his old activities of graffitiing and scouting. If all goes well, he should prove invaluable in the fight against the Union of Socialist Workers. Because with him back in the fold, practically anything is possible for us now. The only way is up. Since we can now have a frenzy of activities based on various different methods. We have influence points being consumed by myself and Baturin, wealth points being consumed by Mr. Krochnov, and force points being consumed by Mr. Nazarov. We are poised for a great success indeed. A success to remember. Everything is back on track. Perhaps I should anoint Mr. Nazarov into the movement, so as to make sure that he never leaves us again. Although first we've got more pressing matters to attend to. Our canvassing campaigns in Lizitsky Towers appear to be gaining little ground. This is unfortunate, but I don't mind, since we are getting stronger by the day. We have a multilaterally developed movement, and all is going smoothly, all is going magnificently. I'm just hoping that the socialists don't find a way to slander us with the press. If anything, I'm hoping that we can take the press for ourselves, since we have already published a number of articles charging and accusing the socialists of committing grave misdemeanors. The latest statistics are in once more. And although our share of the city has decreased slightly due to the activities of the church, this is unimportant, since we have cruised ahead to 512 points, almost 100 points against the Union of Socialist Workers. Our average resolve is also up, and so everything is going well. Never again will we allow ourselves to fall behind, to be taken advantage of as we were right now. It is our responsibility to take drastic action so as to defeat the rivals of our movement. I'm unsure how to arrange my further activities. First I shall investigate the town centre, and this way find out exactly what's going on before planning our big rally. We shall make it a 1,000,000-man march of sorts, and we shall show clearly to the Karasov regime that the NPRM means business, and that we will not yield to any pressure applied against us, be it legal or illegal. I'm tempted to go after Ilyin Radetsky, although it would be tricky for our actions, which is unfortunate for me. Regardless, we are strengthening our position, we are gaining ground constantly. We have a flurry of activity going on of all kinds, targeted to all people. Here's hoping that we shall come out on top, that we shall triumph. I believe, personally, that we shall, because unlike the other movements, we are composed of pragmatists, realists, in other words, opportunists. We are doing simply what is best for our movement. We are acting resolutely and decisively, based on general principles, but mostly, of course, on what is the best choice to strengthen our position. Day 41 has begun. Trochnov has joined the Socialists. A million curses! This is unacceptable! This is absolutely ridiculous! And in the meantime, Pavel Pavlov has joined the Mafia. Everything seems to be culminating awfully for me now. Perhaps I should go after Bogdan Rashinsky. Though I wonder if I could recruit him. We shall try nonetheless, I believe. It would be a good idea. But first we'll go after Edward Berezin, since his resolve appears to be lower than that of the people around him. Considering the fact that he's a journalist, I believe that he would make a good member of our movement. And so, we shall meet up with him at the Georgian Cafe. If we can have our members stolen from us, then we can steal other ones as well. We are buying and selling members of the movement at this point. Trading them for all intents and purposes. But regardless, we shall do our best to make sure that this goes well. Since we are making the final measures, the final touches, before beginning to take the town center. Thinking of Trochnov, of course, it's no wonder that he left the movement. I didn't expect him to stay too long anyway. Now I'll be holding a rally in front of the government offices. Hopefully this will gain us the influence that we need to take over the town center. And to make the final move towards leaving Ekaterine. This of course will be achieved hopefully in the next episode. Until then, if you've enjoyed this episode and the series, do not forget to leave a like and a comment and to subscribe to my channel. I've been the Nerd Gamer, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye for today, and thank you very much for watching.